What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Davis. We back again, episode 3. Got your girl Diamond B with us. Tev Moy, Gifted Eye.
G.O.D.
Then we got my boy Tone of RME Studios. So today we talking about Kanye getting canceled, man. They done canceled my boy.
Everywhere.
Adidas, too. Balenciaga, Gap.
Aaron Donald left him.
Don't walk away from my boy, like.
But ain't this what the fuck he was talking about? Is this not what he said in the interview, which was he's tired of that same group of people controlling everything, and now they making them calls. Now they making them calls and they canceling that nigga. He can't even. You can't even talk about them people comfortably.
So what you saying that canceled. Right? That's why I feel like we can't, as black people, we can't cancel Kanye.
We cannot cancel Kanye.
Because that's just proving that it's proving this point
Kanye.
that once you say something against them, you lose everything.
All right, but this the thing about us as a whole, right?
Because
a lot of us come from nothing, niggas choose their own pockets over the cause.
Exactly.
And 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. Niggas choose their own situation over the cause.
You know what's crazy? I brought it up on Facebook, right? And one of my homegirls I went to middle school with, she has said, I said, I'm not canceling Kanye. She said, right, because none of them canceled Kanye when he said black people chose slavery.
Yeah. Nobody.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about that on Twitter.
But as soon as we start talking about them, he's canceled.
But look, but what
we could get the back. We could get talked about.
George Floyd, that's controversial because I feel like people are misinterpreting what he tried to say on that, and we talked about it last time.
Yep.
But regardless, I don't want to put no words in nobody's mouth, assuming because I might be wrong in what I'm thinking he was saying. But what it sounded to me like he tried to say was the knee on his back/neck is not necessarily what killed him, but it was a setup and they hit him with something. Then he said fentanyl. Then you find the fentanyl in his bloodstream. So what I think he's trying to say is, they still killed George Floyd, but it wasn't the knee on the neck or the back that killed him. It was the fact that they might have hit him with something. You know what I'm saying?
But he still said it wrong completely, and it's not factual too because they said that. They checked his bloodstream. He had fentanyl, but not enough to kill him.
You know how much fentanyl it actually takes to kill somebody?
Right. Yeah, they said that there's like no amount.
It's like a little bit of fetty could kill you, bro. It don't even take a lot of fetty. But this the thing. What fentanyl does as a drug, it's an extreme stimulant. It has to be because it's mimicking amphetamines and cocaines and things of that nature.
Definitely.
When your heart start pumping like that and you got a motherfucker standing on your back, that's the police and you scared, man, that shit fucked around, sent that nigga into a heart attack,
or like an anxiety attack.
Attack, you know what I mean? Breathing heavy, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of...
But that knee was definitely on that neck.
Was it there? I gotta rewatch the videos.
I watched it.
Was it there for the whole 10 minutes?
It was. It
don't even take 10 minutes.
It don't. But it take like 3.5 minutes to really suffocate somebody.
Well, it was longer than that.
That's what I'm saying. Was it really?
He was moving, trying to get his wins. Like,
I don't want. We gonna stay politically correct off of that because there's a whole lawsuit going on that. We ain't even gonna get too deep on that.
I don't think the family should be trying to sue nobody. They already made enough money off of that situation.
Yeah, but you know.
Let's just keep it real. They made more off of his death than they did with him living. On top of that, Kanye was one of the people that donated to them people.
I didn't even know that.
They talked about that too, so it's like I could donate you stuff in your time of need, and you gonna turn around and still try to sue me anyway.
And boycott me, yeah.
Come on, bro, it be your own people, but like I said, we choose our own pockets over the cause.
It's a lot of stuff.
I can't cancel my boy
behind the Adidas brand as well, though, because they said the people that started Adidas was part of the Nazi movement.
Yeah, so look, and that's another thing that I be saying too.
Adidas.
All these as black people,
you
Nazi
never know with any of the.
I feel like we're not boycotting them for their
are racist. And some of them
are mostly racist.
Majority of them are.
Some of them are out front with it, and we still support them because you won't look good.
Isn't Tommy Hilfiger one of them?
Know what I mean? But But
because the way we are as black people, which is we're not gonna identify it as self-hate, but that's really what it is what they put in us purposely to keep us divided, whether we want to call it that or not.
Because it's crazy how easy people can see the wrong when it comes to us.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
You go to McDonald's every fucking day of the week and they might hit twice. And that's enough for you to keep going back. But let you go to a black restaurant and they shit not good one time, you probably never go back. You hop online, you bash them, you talk crazy, bro, because we hate us more than anything else.
The thing is, like, yeah, we know that when you go to McDonald's, you know you're gonna keep going back. Some people do, some people don't. Not everybody goes back. Not everybody.
Some people still going back.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I only go to McDonald's for my son more than I go for myself.
That's because you made a conscious choice as an adult with adult taste buds and wanting your health right that you're not fucking with McDonald's. But I made that as an analogy, which is you could go to McDonald's a lot and it's trash, but you still gonna try a McDonald's. But you go to a lot of these black businesses once that's cooking soul food, whatever. You eat it one time and it's not good. Most people never even walk back through the door.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Niggas never walk back through the door, bro.
But we're also programmed that way too. Like,
but
not
yeah.
to
I'm like that with certain fast food. If I get bad service at a certain McDonald's, I ain't going back to that McDonald's.
But I feel like in all, especially as a black business in a restaurant way, when something's not right, you speak up and you say it. Like, I had somebody food before and the rice wasn't fully cooked. Like, it wasn't right. So instead of me bashing them, getting online, I went straight to him like, listen, the rice ain't done. You know, like, this is something for you to learn next time around. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
that's you having a different mind state and level of
everybody
intellect.
The general don't operate
but
like
I feel like that will make it better.
But that's
what it should be.
But we gotta elevate as a people. I say it like this, right? For instance, Tab JD's my man's, right? I got this thing like on social media where like people know me for being a smart person. So it's like when I make typos, people love to jump on my comments and say, you spelled something wrong. And it's like, yo, y'all niggas so happy to tell me I spelled something wrong.
You missed the message.
Because you feel better about yourself or whatever the case may be that you missing the messages. But guess what? Had it been one of y'all, what I would do is I hop in your inbox and go, bro, this is wrong on the status. Go fix it.
Right.
Because I'm not here to bash you. I'm here to help my niggas.
Why,
I'm here to support.
Why does correcting have to be considered bashing?
It's how you go about correcting somebody. Because sometimes what I'm saying
for a
is,
fact. I'm saying towards you because it's times where I'll be like, yo, somebody just spelled something wrong. I just correct them just so they could just edit, because you can edit shit on Facebook and they'll get mad. This ain't fucking.
But this is the thing, Jay. Is if it's from a place of genuineness, correct that person in private, because it's almost like having a booger in your nose, right? A nigga ain't gotta go, damn, bro, you got a booger in your shit. Or I could go, hey, yo, bro, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's a difference in how you go about doing it.
It's not that deep. I gotta go all the way in your DM to tell you that. Because we all got phones.
But you know what?
It is that deep.
Spell check will switch male to nail. That's a real male's a real word.
But
I mean, it ain't nobody. It don't mean you dumb. It don't mean you.
It's not always what you do. It's how you go about doing things, and it's the same way we was talking about Ye, which was it ain't always what you say. It's how you articulate it. You know what I'm saying? It's not always what you say. It's how you articulate it. So
and the way people.
When you assume niggas sensitive, assume niggas feel a type of way, so you do things with the intention to not offend, unless I'm trying to offend. If I'm trying to offend, it doesn't fucking matter.
So is this the reason why
I don't even correct
you don't give a fuck?
I just don't correct.
Don't say nothing because you don't have to say nothing.
Wait, hold on.
That's why I just
on Twitter, nobody corrects you.
Nobody
Corrects you on
because
Twitter.
most motherfuckers on Twitter don't know you. People on Facebook know you.
Nah, but you could literally say something totally wrong. You could leave something totally out. People still gonna retweet what you said. They're gonna still understand exactly what you were saying.
The culture a little different.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
so why none
Facebook,
of y'all told
everybody
me?
Definitely always trying to spell check.
Why none of y'all told me that I talk fast though? Since we're on the matter of correcting things.
You said that.
We felt as if you knew that.
Yeah, I thought you knew that.
Talk fast.
I had no idea.
What do you say?
Nah, sometimes
I'm cautiously talking slow right now.
Somebody said on
I
Facebook,
cannot.
somebody hopped on Facebook and said Tev talking cursive. I never heard no shit like that. They said that nigga talking cursive.
I seen you say that. I'm like, what is he
I
talking
thought
about?
I was speaking in tongues when she said that. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
No,
why
you
is you
always
trying to
talk
talk sexy
fast.
now, though?
No.
This guy is...
You heard how he did
I'm
that
not-
shit
I'm
had
not trying-
bass on it?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to talk
Barry
sexy.
White
It's
on.
like,
He put
trying
the...
to-
He said,
That shit
"Shut
had
up."
bass on it.
I'm definitely trying to slow it down a little bit because, you know, I heard myself and I was like, what the fuck is this?
That nigga sound like a radio anchor.
Yeah, that-
Late night
I
love.
gotta
and shit.
listen now. Now
nah,
I
that
gotta
shit,
try to
you,
listen.
I
Not
promise
with-
you, you're never going to hear it now. I'm so cautious of it. It's crazy.
Nah, sometimes tell
You
me
know how,
that-
like, when niggas was going into, like, auction shit?
Yeah.
the nigga that does the auction? That's literally how I
Yeah,
sound.
35, 35, 35,
Yeah,
35, 35,
exactly.
35,
But if you
So-
able to rank on yourself, then it makes you a little bit less self conscious about that shit. Like
Nah, for a
I
fact.
told him, I said,
Once you aware, it don't matter. No
Oh, yeah,
more.
nah,
Nobody's-
I hate how I sound on voice recording when I'm not rapping. Because I feel like when I rap, my rapper voice always sounds 100. It's my rapper voice. Sometimes I hear myself talking and I'm like, damn, why my shit nasally? Why my tone is this? Why is that? But if you self-conscious about everything that you do, sometimes you just don't do shit. It ain't nothing you could do to change that, right? You know what I'm saying? So
I'm
it's like,
still
do you
gonna do
not
shit.
pod because you talk fast? Or do you not pod because your tone is like this? Or you gonna just say, fuck it, that's
Just
me.
slow this motherfucker.
And do your
Yeah,
shit.
what it is.
But,
He said, "I'ma
it
slow
is
that
what it is.
motherfucker
But
down."
It is
I'm
what
definitely
it
gonna
is.
slow it down because, like me hearing myself, I was just like, damn. If you're not paying attention,
But you know
never
what?
gonna
But
I'm
you know
saying.
why it never bothered. Why? You know why it brings it up?
'Cause you Jamaican.
I know you, and I know you'll be thinking a mile a minute.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah,
like-
that's what I was just about to say. It probably feels like you think like,
But we,
let me hurry up and get this out. Let me hurry up and say this.
me and Ted from the Ville, bro. People in the Ville, like I think in the Ville we do a lot of things fast because people be like, "Why you walk so fucking fast?" And
People
I'm
say
like,
that to me
I'm
too.
like, nigga, that's just how we walk in the hood. Like I
Yeah.
feel like everybody in the hood always had an urgency of get where the fuck you going, so you not in something extra.
Yeah, then get the fuck out them streets.
Get the fuck where you going.
Hurry up,
That's
gotta get
how
where you gotta
niggas.
go.
That's how niggas walk, like from the hood. So I
These
feel
my
like
cars right here. These my. I mean,
that's the
these the
beat.
Bentleys.
I feel like nigga. I feel like you always
Most
been talking
likely.
fast though, but
Nah,
you
Back
not.
in the day.
I never realized it.
But was you
Never
sipping
realized
too?
that.
Because I feel like once niggas get a little bit of buzz, the
It
tempo
hits-
kind
yeah.
of speed
Well,
up a little.
I knew
bit.
my
Because
voice was kind
you
of
be
like high
thinking-
pitched, but like the whole fast part, nigga, I thought I was
Yeah,
Spanglish.
He's sad about that shit too. He
Nigga,
just
I'm
said,
not
he
trying
was
to-
mad sad. He was mad.
he don't
sad.
even want to
I
talk.
gotta
He
listen
hit
now.
the
'cause
group.
He don't even
Nah,
want
nah,
to
He
nah.
talk.
hit the group of like, yo,
Nah,
why y'all ain't tell me I talk so fast? Like,
Like,
So a lot of people said this to you.
yeah,
no,
yo, everybody. on
nobody
Facebook.
said it to him.
He seen himself
He
and
brought
told
it
the
up.
internet.
Yeah,
Oh.
He
Yeah.
brought it up.
Oh,
on his own.
really?
but like I'm okay with my flaws. Like people don't be okay with it. I'm alright with my shit.
That's not a problem though.
Nah, it's not. It's not a problem. But when people say "huh," you know, like when growing up, my mother used to be like, "If you could huh, you could hear."
Yeah.
So when people said that, I thought they was being funny. I never took into account that I was
I
talking
get
too
it. I
fast.
get it. I get it. I get it. I definitely get it because I'm a hard person. I get
Yeah. As
it.
soon as that shit happen, I'm like, "You can huh, you hear, motherfucker," and they be like,
I get it.
"Mr.
Because
Whole
I'm
thing
definitely
again."
somebody that don't hear, but I'm
Yo.
also a person who I block people out. So
Tell you,
I be
stupid.
really seeing it
Nigga
like,
said, I
huh?
thought they was being
And everybody be
funny.
like, Dami, you never listen. You right.
Yo, that
I
shit was
don't.
deep. And then you know when somebody said you speaking cursive,
I gotta stare. I stare at shit though.
Yeah.
I
like-
got a staring problem. I,
was really-
stare at shit.
yeah, I was really laughing out loud. Though, I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
You
"Yo,
say you
that's
got
a
a
new one."
staring issue?
I stare at shit, bro. Like
What you
when-
mean?
I'm an artist, bro. So when I look at stuff, I be like mentally dissecting things. Like
Yeah,
So-
like you mean like you like days
Envision.
out like you
like
days
I
out.
be zone. Like even
Yeah.
if I was like looking,
Nah, I do that too.
I
though.
zone. Like I mean,
people
I
like
be
you-
all the way zoned
people
in.
be
and
like
it's
this.
Nah, no disrespect. I
Like, what
just
you
be
looking at? I'm like, I
I
ain't even
be
looking
like a
at
tone.
you.
In my
head
Like,
doing shit.
Tone
I
Yeah,
staring
you
in the
think
corner.
about something totally different.
I'm snitching. I'm making fun of
that
everybody.
nigga said toe staring to the court. I be thinking
And-
about shit.
And when y'all hear this, Jay stomping too, so y'all gonna hear that too. I'm pointing at everybody's flaws.
Yo,
Y'all ain't want to
you
tell me
making me
nothing. I'm
stomp.
snitching.
You funny as hell. Just
I'm being honest.
What we on next? We did
Cut it
Kanye.
out.
Yo, all right, so listen.
Brittany in jail for 9
All right,
years.
so we- oh,
for
Brittany's-
marijuana.
Oh man.
That,
I don't think the
was a
crime.
vape.
I don't think the crime fits the number.
Nah,
but
not
at the
all.
same time,
Niggas trying to make a statement.
they
think so,
they
right.
making a statement, but it's this, and I got to look at it from a perspective of somebody who's been in the system.
A vape pen though.
As in you?
But look,
Hold on.
I've been in the system. Yeah, I've been in jail a couple times in my earlier days. I had a son. I started getting my head on straight, and I'm trying to stay the fuck up out of there. But once you're in the system, you're in the system. But this is the thing, you chose to play in Russia by choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we're not paying them no money.
But look, this is the thing. Anytime niggas go out and do a crime, anytime I went outside and did a crime, whether it was then or if I'm gonna do something now, I know the consequences of the crime I'm about to do, and you just hoping you don't get caught. So this is the thing. This ain't your first time sneaking a vape through. This just the first time you got bagged.
But 9
And
years,
now they're cooking you.
I don't think anybody thought 9 years.
First thing I
vape.
said was
But
the
they
crime
have
does not
always
fit the
been
number.
No, that's a fact.
But that's what they chose to do, and that's what comes with it. And then at the same time, I heard other people say, well, are we supposed to utilize all our resources to go get her out of jail, or are we supposed to go get war heroes and other people that's locked up over there out of jail instead, who deserve to be home a little bit more?
But they said they was gonna give her up for a killer that I mean.
Yeah, but then
but
it's
that's
like at
the
the
point
point
niggas
America
making.
don't want to.
We ain't giving
We
up
gonna
shit.
let a killer go. We gonna let a killer go for her to play basketball
You know what I mean?
when she already played in Russia. It ain't like she played for America and she was on. She do, but at the time she wasn't. It's not like she was in. It's not like she was in America playing. Then she took a trip, and then something happened.
See, I don't know. I think I need to do more research.
I need to do more research on it too. But
I don't know.
anytime you going across seas, you just
I
gotta
don't know. Yeah,
don't fuck around.
Yeah, that's what.
Especially with especially with
countries
countries we supposed to be
But
into
that's
it
one
with,
thing
and
I
we got
do,
a history
especially
of
like
being
Dubai
into it
and
with.
shit like
You
that.
don't go over there and fuck around, bro. You gotta know better when to hold them and when to fold them, bro. Don't fuck around.
Yeah, I could. I feel like she just should have. She should have definitely been more smart about her choice.
I mean, I don't know.
With something like that, yeah.
But sometimes it's like we don't know how it happened. Like
No.
sometimes you have stuff on you and you forget going to the airport.
Jewels?
I done been to the airport with I went to Miami one time, 2015. Nigga, I had a fucking whole eighth in my pocket walking into the airport.
That's because you was already high.
But we don't know if she.
nigga
But
said,
look,
but
we don't know if she was high
but
already.
look,
We don't know if she was high
but you
already.
not being militant at that point. You
Shit, I was
slipping.
militant
You
when I
not
was
be.
dumping
You,
that
yeah,
shit
you
through the
not
lobby
be.
in
Yeah,
my-
but you gotta be. If you gonna be doing anything that's crime related, bro, you gotta be thinking militant, and it gotta be. It's like when Joel said, "Yo, I went in the airport and I forgot it was a gun in my bag." It's like, nigga, how you forgot it was a gun in the bag?
Yeah, that's I don't know.
That's heavy. You try and go through TSA with a gun and I forgot the gun was in my bag. It's like, nah, if you're gonna do criminal acts, you gotta have an intelligent mind. Otherwise you're gonna be, they say a criminal mind is either an intelligent mind or an idiot.
Most of them intelligent.
Most niggas in jail is super intelligent. They're just ambitious. And a lot of times niggas ambition mixed with their circumstances makes you do something illegal. And then sometimes you get motherfucking caught because other people smart too. But niggas can't be out here just committing crime and being idiots about it. You know what I'm saying? Like in 2015, you was 7 years younger. Would you walk in the airport now ever with an eighth in your pocket?
No, but I didn't do it intentionally.
All right, but she's grown. She's not a child. She
I was
grown.
grown then. I was only like 23.
You a young
24.
nigga, bro. You ain't really
That's
thinking
young.
until 25 or better.
Yeah, they said that your
At
brain
30
hasn't
plus,
developed.
nigga, you
Or-
just want to do that.
But listen, I'll say this because of that experience. Because and also I was never, that was my first time going on vacation really. And
And
shit.
you be on
I
your
ain't
shit
never
now,
traveled.
huh?
So now because of that experience, before I even get to, I'm make sure I ain't got nothing.
All right, but this all right, so put it like this, right? For instance, because the way I got to look at things is different because I've been in the system. I've been labeled as a gang member in the system. I've been sent to a high security facility specific for gang members because you can't go to population because you're a security risk. So I know when niggas is pulling my car over is different than somebody else getting pulled over because with my ID popping, whether they want to tell you that or not, I know your criminal record or something like that, that shit pops up because they need to know who they're dealing with before they come to a car. And because I'm not in a criminal element, I'll put it like this. If I'm dirty and I'm doing something wrong, I wouldn't even stop. But if I'm going to stop, I'm cutting the lights on, I'm grabbing my papers before you get to the car,
Could baby best believe
and I'm
clean.
throwing my hands on the fucking steering wheel, because guess what? I don't want to give you no extra static to make my situation more complicated, because they're already on high alert when they're coming to the car based off of what the system is telling them about me. So if I do something dumb and I get smoked, I did it to myself because I knew better. Niggas gotta know better. Like, niggas want to do things, but niggas don't want to understand the consequence of the shit that they doing. If I load up and go out and go do something to a nigga right now, I know I could lose everything that I have.
Yeah.
But if that's the decision that I choose to make, then I either got to do the job to a point where I cannot get bagged or cover all my my tracks, or I just know what come with it. And then when it come with it, that's what it is. It's the same concept as ratting, but niggas are not afraid to do crime. Niggas are afraid of punishment.
Yeah.
Niggas ain't scared to do the crime. Niggas are scared of punishment.
Though, yeah, that's a fact. If you gonna do once you get into it, you know what's gonna come with it. So
but that's not.
You gotta be prepared.
But that's not everybody's character, bro. Because it took me years to learn full accountability, right? Because I've had co-defendants in cases, and then sometimes you like, I didn't necessarily do what they saying we did, but they saying we did it, right? But I did something. Mm-hmm. So I was still involved, but I'm mad at this nigga because he did a little extra, and that's why we got a little more time. But at the end of the day, is we did it. Mm-hmm. I made a conscious decision to be involved. If we walk out of here right now because we together and we rock together, if a nigga run down on you, it's up with
all of us.
All of us.
Yes.
It's not even a question. Soon if bitches run down on her, I'm knocking bitches out. I don't care how nobody feel, because we all left here together. You don't get to beat on nobody or do nothing to nobody that I'm with when I'm near, right? But that's my conscious decision to do that. So if I do go outside and knock out bitches for sis, and I get arrested, I knew what I was doing when I started knocking bitches out.
That's my point. That's my whole point.
I knew what I was doing when I started. I knew before I started knocking bitches out, like, what it was gonna be. I knew when we start punching on niggas, it might escalate, and niggas might get popped, niggas might get stabbed, and if it go there and that's what we decide to do, then that's what we do.
Right.
But I knew
people don't think about that though.
Niggas gotta start. That's the problem. Niggas gotta start thinking.
People really don't know accountability to know where to.
Niggas got to start thinking, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think having a child makes you learn a little bit more of accountability. Oh yeah. But I feel like niggas who are deadbeat parents
you become more
are
cautious.
still unaccountable.
You definitely become more cautious when you have a
Being
kid.
a deadbeat just means you're unaccountable.
True.
Because you feel like you're not responsible for the well-being.
I don't even understand how motherfuckers rationalize that shit.
Because they're unaccountable, bro. There's no accountability in their brain, because the second you start holding yourself accountable, it doesn't even make sense anymore.
It don't even feel right.
I can't even hang around a nigga that's not okay with being a parent. Right. Like, nigga, you supposed to do that. And if you don't know how and we mans, ask me, bro, and I'll tell you. The best advice my uncle ever gave me, because my cousin's father from Virginia, my Uncle Will, man, he was like the Uncle Phil for me growing up. That's how I always felt. Like, when I look at Uncle Will, he was stylish. They had the family, they married, and coming from where I'm coming from, it's like we didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all my friends, none of my friends had their pops in the crib. Like, I don't really know too many of my niggas' dads, period. And I didn't meet a lot of them till we was teenagers, adults. You know what I'm saying? So it's so different. But my uncle said I was scared to death when my son was about to be born, because I'm like, damn, I feel like I grew up without a dad, and I don't know how to be a dad. I'm supposed to do.
For me, it was the opposite. I was excited because I viewed it differently. I grew up without a dad, but I knew everything I expected from my father.
I think that's what makes you a great dad after the fact.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm like, everything I expected, that's just what I'm gonna instill in my child.
Most likely, you probably grew up knowing where your dad fell short at, and what you expect, your expectations you wanted. So yeah, when you we got to get your kid, you're like, okay, I gotta make sure I'm doing this right. I gotta make sure I'm doing that right.
Yeah, you kind of know where to correct that mistake.
Yeah. So that helped you, and that's good that you paid attention to those details at a young age, because it helps you be a better parent today.
But we got to as fathers, like we really got. All right, so
we was talking about fatherhood and shit like that.
Yeah.
I never got to finish because basically Unc said 90% of the job is just showing up, and everything else you'll figure it out as you go.
That's a lot of shit in life, though.
No,
Yes,
fact.
it really is.
But that shit was the simplest advice that made sense, because it was like, nigga, what the what the fuck I'm really supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Because you saying I knew everything that I didn't have, so I knew what I wanted.
Right.
And I felt the same way, but then it's always that thought in the back of your head is, am I gonna be able to deliver? Am I gonna be able to deliver? So it's like,
No, fact.
you
But
sit
then you tell yourself, I gotta deliver.
I gotta deliver. I don't
You
have
know
an
what I mean?
option. You know what I'm saying? So I hate it when that narrative sometimes is daddies could be absent, or daddies could take days off, or dads could do this and this, but moms can't. It's like, that's not true, because the more and more I see it with our generation, especially the niggas who grew up fatherless, I see way more active fathers.
Yeah.
And then the older I get, remember niggas used to compare you to old niggas, and they be like, you young niggas don't do shit. You young niggas don't know how to fix shit. You young niggas don't know how to do this and this and this and this. And then I realized them old niggas didn't either.
Facts.
A lot of shit around grandma's house broke the fuck up, and niggas got uncles and shit. Niggas ain't never fixed nothing.
No, that's a fact.
A lot of niggas didn't do shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of us is learning as we go.
No,
You just gotta be willing to learn
Yeah.
and be okay with making mistakes, but trying to correct them, and then just kind of being okay with not being okay. Because some things you don't know how to do, and you got to go through that shit to figure it out.
And that's why, like, I be. If you think, sometimes I think back on my own upbringing with my mother and whatever. It's like I view her differently now that I'm a parent. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff I used to resent her for, whatever. I didn't understand why. I'm like, yo, get off my back. Like, you in the way.
Yeah, it's funny because I was just having a conversation with someone. Because when I was in high school, I never had no curfew. Like, my house was kind of, I don't want to say free reign, but if you was there, you was there. You knew between Circular Valley and Hazel Street, we was having a good time.
You had the lit house?
I had the lit house.
I had the lit house too, but it wasn't supposed to be a lit house because we had rules, but I was disrespecting. And we was so deep, it was like, you know what I'm saying?
I had the lit house.
That's how my shit was lit.
So when I went away to school, and then I came back, my mother tried to give me a curfew. And I'm like, yo, I never had a curfew the whole time. I went to Hampton High. Like, I never had a curfew. I go to Hampton High, I'm living in New Haven. So, like, just getting back and forth to school was whatever. Like, you go to a friend's house, I got to make it back across town, however many buses, whatever. Never had a curfew. Now you telling me I'm grown. I live in Mass, and I come home, I got a curfew.
That's
This
the
is
weirdest.
college time?
But
College time.
bro, that's the
Oh,
weirdest
hell
thing
no.
in the world, though, because I feel like
Yeah,
I
that's
went
super
I went
backwards.
away for the first time. I went to college when I was 18. I caught my first case at college, or my first adult case at college. I did like 7 months on a bracelet, and maybe like a summer and a half later, I went away for real for the first time, and then I had to come home because I was at my mom's house for a while, like after my situation with college and whatever, because I was on my own accord. I wanted to do my own thing, and she had her rules, like, you know what I'm saying. So when I had to come home, and then I had rules, but I was already like 21, 22. It was like
didn't make
rules. Nigga, what? I've been in here doing what the fuck I want since 04. When we talk about rules, nigga, ain't no rules. I'm grown. But the older you get, like you said, you learn.
You see things differently.
When you paying the motherfucking bills, some of this shit don't fly.
And it wasn't, and I think for my mother, what the reasoning was, so like I've always played sports, which always kept me out of trouble. When you come home from school, you just kind of outside. And like, I like to be outside, no matter if it was like a bar or hanging out or whatever. It's like, I'm going to be around people. When I played sports, it was like, you kind of knew exactly who I was with. and there's kids that play sports, whatever. We kind of you on that same schedule, so it just kind of makes sense. And when I came home, it's like Tev could be with anybody.
But that's because they start implementing the rules because they scared.
And I think that's what it
That's
was.
what I'm about to
She was worried because I know Tev could be
just
in the
her,
bar
like,
and
for a while.
You get around that age where shit starts happening. Niggas is getting killed.
Yeah.
Niggas is going to jail for real, and they implement them rules because they want to stop you. And I feel like I used to resent my mom for kicking me out the crib. Like, my mother would kick me out. Like, by the time I was like 17, when I get out of control, my mother would be like, you gotta go. Mm-hmm. And then I'd probably be gone for a couple weeks, a month or something at a time, and you get to come home. But once the college shit was over and I caught them cases, it was like, nigga, you grown now. Now I need you out. I need you out. Yeah. And it's different.
When she used to threaten to kick me out, I was like, how you gonna threaten to kick me out? Like, I'm your motherfucking
But guess what?
kid.
But
like,
then you feel entitled to live in they shit.
Yeah.
Because you they kid. But now that you...
But I used to be like, nigga, yeah, kick me out. You ain't never gonna see my son. I feel like
we all been through something like that.
I understand now, like, what you... Nah, I mean,
and I don't see me getting that mad at my kid. I'm like, yo, you gotta go.
Nah, yeah,
listen,
me neither. I'm not.
I don't even want to be the parent that tell my son like he gotta pay my bills.
You
like,
are.
The bill thing is not. Our parents, I don't want to say our parents went OD with the bills, but paying some bills early does teach you some responsibility.
But this is
paying
my thing
half your parents' rent is kind of crazy.
There's parents that will use. It's not about a teaching thing for them. Yeah. It's like, yes, you finally old enough. I need help, motherfucker. I'm about to leave. Take a break a little bit. You gonna have to help me.
And some parents really need help, but the parents, I feel like that OD on it. This shit gonna sound real bad, but it's some Section 8 parents.
But at the end of the day,
not real bad.
It's not real bad, but I feel like those are the ones that's always trying to OD with.
But what you gotta understand about a Section 8 parent is a Section 8 parent has a Section 8 mentality. Mm-hmm. And a Section 8 mentality is a mentality of impoverishment and lack of accountability and someone taking care of you. And a lot of times, the more like, boom, excuse me, I try to
cheating way out through life.
I try to, exactly. I got into coaching to primarily spend more time with my son, right? My son wanted to do sports. I played. I knew what the hell I was talking about, and I had a way with the kids, so I was able to ease into coaching. Mm-hmm. But then as you get into coaching a little bit more, you realize, oh, this is my way of giving back to the community. Mm-hmm. I'm able to give a little bit more back to these kids that a lot of these kids don't got no daddy. They don't have no real big brother to look up to. Mm-hmm. So when people know me as, yo, you Antonio dad, Antonio's pretty cool at school. He gets good grades. He's good at sports. Oh, your dad wears necklaces and he listen to cool music and he got a studio. My dad know your dad type shit. They listen to me a little bit more. They a little more receptive, right? But then I'm realizing, like, these niggas really don't have no daddies like that. So coaching and being in a life, you there to kind of change the trajectory of the mind state early.
Trying to, and I always say is like, I don't come from much, so it's like any time that I see something that's like I could break a cycle, I'm trying to break that cycle.
But even sometimes kids can have their father in their life and it's just
but
not the right influence.
Because the father ain't
but
that.
But he's not.
I mean, he's not attentive in the right ways.
Father ain't that.
Or, like, nah,
you gotta.
He ain't gonna be assertive.
People, and I learned this early on. So like, you gotta find ways to connect with your kids. Your kids might not like the stuff you like. Like my son, he not interested in football. He come to practice with me. He'll come to the games and stuff, but he's not interested in that stuff. So like, I try to do things that he's interested in to like build those moments.
Do y'all believe that people are a product of their parenting, or a byproduct of the parenting?
To a certain degree.
What's the degree?
Because
how much of it we gonna put on genetics versus how a person is raised?
A lot of the stuff they saying is it's passed down, but like for me,
what's passed down?
As far as being raised, I wouldn't say a lot about genetic.
Like a lot of your habits and a lot of that stuff they said is like just passed down over genetics. I don't know how true
because
it is
I
or
don't
what's
think
what.
through genetics though. It's all about.
I think
what
it
you
plays.
see.
I think it plays
No,
a trait.
Us as human beings, we're whatever is not good for us, whatever is wrong, whatever is traumatic, is always going to be traumatic. It's always going to be trauma. So,
And that's what I'm saying. They're saying
Yeah.
that sometimes some traumatic. I ain't gonna try to
I
correct because I ain't that nigga when it comes to that.
I asked that question because, like we said, we coach together sometimes, right? And for the lack of being able to put it in another term, when you see that a kid is an airhead and you finally meet their goddamn parents, you be like, God damn, nigga, it ain't no wonder you see exactly where it comes from. But then when you got that kid that's a very good athlete,
So you can't call the kids an airhead.
the kid is an airhead. I'm gonna call it how the fuck I see it. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit. Niggas an airhead. He ain't gotta be, but you are what you are. If you a dumbass, you a dumbass. You ain't gotta be, but you are what you are.
and you need to be told that.
You need to be told that because he need to know to get better.
Yes.
You need to know to be
fact.
more
I don't
attentive.
believe in.
Also,
Yes.
some
I'm not saying
Some
use
people
it,
are that
I'm
way
not
for
saying
attention.
use that. Yes,
No, for a fact.
that
For
is very
attention.
true.
That's definitely
because like even
That's
like
what I
you
was about to
said,
say.
like the kids that get into the crime and all the other stuff. A lot of those kids are smart. They're just looking for attention.
true.
I don't, nigga. If you start doing crime,
I'm not talking about crime.
I'm
I'm
about to
just
say
saying
if
like
you do crime to get attention, nigga, you need to do something
Well,
else.
no, that's
You need to draw a picture.
but that's what they're saying that like
But
I don't say you being airhead turns into this, but like some of those kids.
I put it like this. I always had very, very good grades in school. School has always been easy for me. Like learning,
But you made a lot of bad choices.
I made a lot of bad decisions. But
Was it for attention? Was it for some kind of love?
If someone
Because,
was checking
even-
in,
I don't feel like I did things for love, but I feel like I did things a lot
out of anger.
a lot of anger. Like I tell people like
By
and
the
I
time you didn't know that though.
I have issues in relationships now because people say that sometimes my demeanor is cold. My it's hard to read me and I'm cold, and I'm like, I grew up a certain way. I saw a lot of things young, and the way my household was is you always knew you was loved, but everybody didn't run around saying I love you all day.
same.
So now with my son, I make sure I tell this, like if I call him in here right now, I'd be like, I love you, Pop. He'd be like, I love you more. I be like, I love you more than that. Like that's every day he gets that, right? Because I feel like I didn't get that, right?
Right.
But now it's reflective in my relationships because I had a woman say, I see how you treat your son, so I could tell that you don't really love me like that. Not saying that you're supposed to love her the same, but I feel like that was her way of saying that I see the level of love that you're capable of, but I'm not getting that from you.
But why weren't you giving it to her? Because I mean, in all, I'm not saying
I don't have an answer for that. Maybe I didn't feel all the way. Maybe I just didn't love her as much as I love my son. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But it's-
And sometimes I
but
think
sometimes you
it's
probably not
love
really-
languages too, or whatever y'all be calling
like
it.
I
'cause
don't think it's like
the
a
love
lot
languages
of
don't always
times
match
women
up.
don't really want you to love them like your child. Like I would never want no man to love me
No,
more
but I
than he
don't think
love
that's
his
what
child.
she was saying. I think he's
The
saying
level
that
of care that he gives, he shows a lot of love to his child. He's expressive.
I'm saying she's saying. I think
expressive.
she's saying that because she's saying that he's capable of being loving.
Because he's expressive.
Yeah, so
he's
I'm
expressing
saying,
his
I don't think
emotions, his feelings
expecting him to be just
every
like,
day unto his son, and he's not giving her nothing. Majority of the time, he's probably not even saying like, "How you doing today? How was your day?" Like,
Ooh, she think
little
I'm a
things
piece
like
of shit.
that.
That's not me. That's some personal shit.
No,
What you
I'm
got
just-
going on?
That nigga told a
I
piece
ain't
of
say
little
that.
dope.
things like that women
know
pay
where that come
attention
from.
to, though. Like little things of you showing a little bit of some kind of something that a woman's gonna pay attention to. You might not know it, but she is.
I think y'all don't understand yourself.
I felt that.
As what? Women? A lot of women might not, but y'all ain't the smartest either.
Shit.
I know me.
I'm just gonna say it. Y'all really are not.
Listen.
And y'all are very selfish. Women think
Yo,
about
who
y'all.
idea was it to have a
She
girl
said,
up
but
here?
she said, y'all looking at me like she know me.
Man,
I'm trying to figure out
saying,
who I look like.
where
That
I'm
she
supposed to
that
look?
recognized. She recognized me from somewhere. Or I
Where
look
am I
like some
supposed
nigga
to
that
look?
did something because she stared at me. She said, yeah, and looked dead at me.
So what she really meant to say was you.
everybody.
Nigga, you selfish, nigga. Nah,
I'm just saying, as men, you guys don't always have a way of saying, okay, let me just express. You got some
guess
men
what?
that are.
All right, so boom.
But some women don't either. Just all right.
Yeah, so
Some
don't
women-
just say all women are
I
a
ain't
way
saying- nobody
of
said
you
all
got
women.
something
It's not
wrong. You don't know yourself.
Nothing is all women and all men. Nothing apply to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
But
She about to box niggas.
in a general sense, of these type of people we talking about, right? There are women who feel like bringing up a subject is them being expressive or being communicative, right? But once they realize they're in the wrong or something, they don't want to talk no more. So then you'll say he's not communicative.
No, I get what
not
you're
you
saying.
per se, but that's the thing.
I get the point of what you're saying. Like, yeah, when women are wrong, they don't know how to say, I was wrong, I'm sorry.
I think that's
whatever
people
the
in
case
general.
may be.
But those
it
would be
could
the
be
same
anybody.
women begging for communication or whatever. I'll say it like this. Women
Well, I'm not the type of woman to say sorry, but I'm not about to ask you to express.
Why? But why you not saying sorry?
Why not?
Why you above an apology?
Right.
No. What the way I was saying
apologize different.
It wasn't the way that how
I'm trying
he
to get
said
on
it.
her ass.
No, but why wouldn't you say sorry? If you were wrong, if you got into it with your significant other, or you had an issue, whatever.
It definitely depends on.
Don't try to come give me pussy as an apology without saying I'm sorry.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm not one of those. If I'm mad, I'm mad. Nothing.
Yeah,
No,
but when
it's
you
not
done
okay,
being
but when
mad,
you
don't
done
try to
be
come
mad,
give
Nah,
me pussy
if
as
you-
an
not
apology
me.
without
but I'm
saying
this is
I
my
was
point.
wrong.
If you realize that you were wrong, you probably misunderstood something and took it for something that it wasn't, whatever.
But that's where it has to be clarified.
Oh, listen, just listen. So when it's being clarified, will you say I'm
She about to
sorry?
snuff this nigga.
Yes. When it's being
Alright.
clarified, a lot of times men go around it. They don't always tell you this is that, and then y'all think different. So what you thinking different, and we see things totally different.
Because
totally
you're
different
not
point of views.
thinking logically. You thinking with emotion.
Y'all think that y'all be doing that. Y'all don't always do
y'all
that.
think emotional. The only emotion men have 9 times out of 10 is frustration.
You
it's
really
fu- it's-
believe that?
9 times out of 10 niggas just be frustrated.
Most for the fact.
Niggas be frustrated. That's when you get a reaction. out of
Frustrated?
niggas.
Why? Because what you do.
But
You
I think
kept
that's
it
the
to
same
yourself?
thing on both parts. Though.
Yo, but look, the reason why niggas keep things to themselves a lot of times is because you learn.
and that's what I was going
People say communication is key, but communication is not always key because communication without comprehension is nothing. There is no communication without comprehension,
That's what I was-
and the issue is that because we think differently, we comprehend the same things differently. So there's always a disconnect until we're able to figure out how to properly communicate
So why
with each
get
other, and it
yourself
changes
frustrated?
from person to person.
And that's what I was gonna hit
So
on.
why
But
get
the liquor
yourself
was hitting me.
frustrated?
So it's like, all right, so it'll be a situation.
'Cause
and
that's
this is-
accountability.
Listen. There'll be situations where if I'm explaining something to you, whatever, and every time I'm trying to talk or whatever, or every time I start to prove a point, you start cutting me off. I don't want to talk. And if I know, and then every time we have a communication or whatever, or it come down, you need me to communicate to you or break something down to you, and then I start doing that, and then you start cutting me off when I need to communicate. I already know what's coming up. So at that point, I already know, all right, she gonna cut me off. I'm not gonna get my point across. I'm not gonna even.
But basically, just like he just said, y'all practically already start off not being expressive. You start off not talking. You start off not.
That's not what I just explained.
I said him.
All right, so we going over what I'm just talking about.
Well, I'm gonna bring it back to what you're saying. I'm gonna bring it back to what you're saying. But what I'm saying is,
when we finally do be expressive.
No, hold on, let her finish though. Let her finish.
Get it. Nah, get it. Cause you was about to say some shit.
Go ahead.
She wasn't about to say nothing. If she gonna let me just go like that, she wasn't about to say nothing. Go ahead and say something.
Y'all are, as I'm the only female, so I'm hearing
we
all
jumping
of what
you.
y'all feel. I'm not scared.
No. You ain't supposed to be scared, but we jumping you.
What you want to say?
Nah, we want you to say what you got to say.
I was saying that as men, you guys already don't come off as being an expressive person. So now, yes, when it's time to communicate as a female, we are already like, you don't understand it. And you just said you guys get frustrated.
But are you
frustrated and you can't think clear?
But this goes right back to what we was just talking about, which is nurture and how you raise. As a boy growing up or a man growing up, who the fuck you supposed to go to voice your issues and shit like that to anyway, because you can't go to your mama with it. Because a lot of times there's boy issues and mommy don't understand the boy issues. So you ain't really had nobody to talk to, because if you ain't had no big bro or no father or nobody there to give you proper advice, you wasn't going to no therapy. If you wasn't talking to the counselor at school, who was niggas talking to? So now you become a man in a relationship. We don't know how to do certain things because we ain't grow up doing that shit.
And you know what's another factor too is how we communicate with each other. Like we gotta have on both sides, men and women in relationships, we gotta have a consciousness of respect. Like, know what I mean? Because I think that's where a lot of times it's like, all right, if a woman is mad, she feel like she could yell at you or whatever. And as a man, I will shut down if you start yelling at me, because I don't want to start.
My fight or flight response always kicks in the fight.
Like, so the second, I don't want to get like.
The second somebody get too loud, I'm already aggressive.
So we communicate different, and it's like, and that's another. Okay, so now I feel like that's the major difference in, because the things that there's a difference in what we're allowed to do in our anger in society. What society has allowed, you know what I'm saying? When a woman yells or whatever, it's supposed to be, oh, she's just expressing her feelings or whatever. But you're always supposed to be gentle with the women, no matter how you're feeling as a man.
A woman yelling, though, it comes from frustration.
Yeah, but as a man, it's coming from frustration too. So there's no justification. As adults, we have to have the consciousness for respect. You do not go to someone that you respect out of frustration just to start yelling at them.
So only y'all can be frustrated?
You're not listening to what I'm saying. I just said men and women.
We gotta have mutual respect.
He said, collectively. Like you say, like, hey man, I'm frustrated. This is the issue.
That's what I'm saying. It's not okay for a man to be yelling at a woman. But it's not okay for the woman to be yelling at a man. We gotta be speaking to each other like we have respect.
But
not even sense, respect.
But you know what? But you know what another thing is too, is that some conversations don't need to be had right in the moment. And
that's when and I feel like men and women have a different
perspective on that, because they want to talk about shit right now. Sometimes it's better to let a nigga walk off. Let's think about all this shit.
And we don't want to talk. We don't feel like everything that's
needs to be commented on.
Everything that we don't like doesn't need to be an issue.
We don't need to comment on it. And
well,
that's
I feel
what
like with women will more so nitpick at everything they do not like.
But to get back to what you were saying earlier, which was, why do y'all hold shit in and not say it? Because what we do is we see the value in. If you do something right 99% of the time, or you do 99 things right, as a man, we don't see a reason to point out the one, because we know it could be worse than this. So shut the fuck up about that. But y'all, we could do 99 things right, and then when we do that one thing wrong, y'all point it out. And this is where niggas' frustration be coming from a lot of times, especially for the men who are active or trying to do the right thing and stuff like that. It's like, if I'm going to do 99 things right and you're going to point out the one and nobody's perfect, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I not frustrated? Because it was 30 things I could have pointed out that you did wrong, but I never said shit. So a lot of times that's when niggas blow up, because it's a lot of shit I held in and I never said nothing about nothing. Now you nitpicking. Well, since we nitpicking, let me tell you everything I got an issue with.
And that's why in my last relationship, when we try to communicate with each other, he's like, all right, what could we do different? And I used to say like, yo,
Oh, that nigga talking fast now. I can hear it. I can hear it.
But she used to say, I used to say, choose your battles. Like, you know what I mean?
Gotta choose your battles. Everything not worth fighting over.
It doesn't have to be everything that you. There's 10 things that you did today that I didn't like, and I could have said something.
And it might have been 10 things that just weren't worth fighting over. Just
but we
whatever.
here still, and it's
Right.
not an issue. I
Right.
didn't make an issue out of it, and we good.
So,
But with you, as soon as you don't like anything, any little thing that I do, you're not my parent. You're not my. Find someone that you can control them.
Yo, your sock mixed the hamper, my nigga.
What?
Your sock, Mr. Hamper.
It'd be
so
little.
with that being said,
It'd be little things. They'd be like, yo, your sock
So with
missed the
that-
hamper.
so with
they-
that being said,
be
going
over.
forward, what are y'all gonna do different?
What are you gonna do? That's
No,
different?
no.
I'm
What
just-
are you guys gonna do indifferent for
Me?
when you want to communicate? Because, like he said, comprehension is really what it is.
Well, but this all goes all within the individual, how everybody. Cause I can communicate personally. I don't have a problem with that. Now my problem is how do you respond? Now once I see that you're a type of person that's gonna always argue or shut down or
You just stop communicating.
like, know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna do that. Like, know what I mean? Why even temper into the waters? I can get into a deep conversation. I don't matter. We can go back and forth. It don't have to be an argument. You know what I mean? Everything we don't like about each other don't gotta be an argument. And one thing I used to say, like, people gotta understand in relationships that like you with each other for your similarities. Well, your similarities probably brought you together or whatever, but at the same time when you're choosing to be together, you have to understand your differences. Or learn to understand your differences.
Well, shit, I thought they said opposites attract, nah?
I was about to say.
Man,
Shit,
attract don't mean that we stay together.
Right.
That's a
Because
fact.
everything you attract, you don't got. I don't move on just because I find you attractive don't mean I'm attractive. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it could be so it's not even
Don't
about
don't let that go
so,
over your head, people. Just because you look good don't mean niggas want to,
Niggas definitely want to do a fuck on them.
Niggas stupid.
Niggas want to do a fuck on for sure. I gotta say something, man, because we got so
Yo,
deep.
man, you fucking up Jay. You know he about his aura and his
Oh
vibration.
yeah, last time he was doing that aura
You know what I'm
shit. He was
saying?
talking
You
that
got-
shit.
Because he
last
gotta
time.
be
He got a
deep-
do rag on
it's
today.
deeper than
Don't he
rap.
got on black ups?
No,
Nah,
I'm about to say
I ain't
he
do the black
he
Air
on
Max.
black
Some
ups
Air
vibes
Max.
today.
I ain't do the black ups in years. But like, know what I mean? But it's like at the end of the day, you made me forget what I was saying.
That mean it was some bullshit.
I was just trying. I'm trying to bring. I just trying to bring the laughter back a little bit, man, because we got deep real quick.
Yeah, and I thought she was about to sock you real quick too. She was like, say
Nah,
one more
but
thing.
seriously though, because to hit on, I understand that though, because I even do have male friends who I've watched be wild and be like, all right, bro, like it wasn't that deep.
Nah,
like,
100%,
like you could have just had a simple conversation.
100%.
Like,
I got all sisters, so I get it. But then I
And one
don't.
thing we gotta learn to do as people sometimes if it don't apply, we gotta let it fly, because we kind of started applying shit to
Where the fuck
ourselves.
you
And
get that saying
My
from?
only thing is,
Where you get that saying from?
if it don't apply, let it fly. You never
Yeah.
heard that?
Yeah, I know you heard that from somewhere.
my
Nigga,
only
that's
thing
common
is,
saying.
you have
Right.
different men in this world that think completely different.
Nah, you
They
right. You
handle
right.
things completely different. They communicate. They talk. They're calm. They're patient. Like,
Nah, and,
it's not hard
Pussy.
to get there, and that's why I said with
but the
my
man
question,
the type of man that you were talking about before.
Simping.
ain't nobody
Nah.
simping.
Nah, you gotta be realistic about it though, because
Nobody's simping.
I really watched.
Because in all in all, your situation and who you are is from what you grew up with. It's how you grew up. It's what you came across. It's your trauma. So in all, a different kind of man probably got talked to gently. To the
I ain't
where
get
he
talked to
is who
gently,
he is as an adult.
I ain't get
So
talked
he
to
knows how to
gently.
talk. He knows how to communicate. I'm not saying that y'all are always just gonna be the problem. I let y'all talk because in all, it's what hurt y'all. It's what affects y'all. It's what made y'all who y'all are. It's not cute. Y'all might think it's all that's not cute. That's not cute being like that. Honestly, it's not. cutting yourself off, not talking, but then you frustrated. You frustrated because you cutting yourself off. You not frustrated because of nothing else, because you cutting yourself off. If you was to be more expressive.
In the times where niggas was expressive, a lot of times I saw that there weren't better results.
But
a lot of times it wasn't better
what
results.
I'm saying is,
but it
you
could
gotta
be
want that.
It could be the people. It could be the people. It could be the person that you with too. Because it's not just about the men. These females have trauma too.
And that's
They come
why
with
I
baggage
said both
too.
sides have to have understanding of respect because, like you said, sometimes, all right, if a nigga, if you dealing with a dude who's known for not coming to you, whatever, and he's like, all right, you know what? Let me try. Let me try to.
Gonna learn that.
But look, not all though. So this is why I said we gotta not apply it to ourselves and just try to speak to the people that, because we know these things are happening out there. Like, now I mean, if it don't apply, let it fly type shit. Know what I'm saying? But it's times where if he's not a communicative person and he be like, all right, I really like her, this is what she complaining about, let me try. You know what I mean? And then he started trying to talk to her and then she's still mad or frustrated or whatever. And all right, let's say he's the type of person that shuts down when someone, like I said before, from a woman. You talked about upbringing before. If my mother was always yelling at me, going crazy on me, growing up on my life, and you as a woman, I'm a grown man now, you yelling at me when I'm communicating at you because you're frustrated, that doesn't justify you. You get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
now
I don't think yelling really fixes anything besides it heightens the emotions
on both sides. So
People's
that's why I always
hurt,
say both sides.
It never solves anything.
There's no point in talking when the emotions are heightened.
Right.
People need to learn to walk away and be like, hey, yo, let me evaluate my side. You know what I mean? Because sometimes all we do is think about why we mad. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we got to think, all right, what did I do in the situation or whatever? Like, you know what I mean? Myself too sometimes. You know what I mean? But when we trying to talk to each other and the emotions are still there, it's hard to even control. Because even me being aware of that, if my emotions are in still heightened or I'm still really
in your mind,
I mean, I didn't get time to really chill over it, I'm not gonna be able to control my tone or whatever. So I can't blame a woman for yelling and being frustrated, or whatever. But like we said, men will take the time and choose not to talk. Sometimes some dudes will try not to talk about shit at all.
Right.
But sometimes let's talk about a communicative man who will be like, all right, let me just take a moment before I be my hothead self and reevaluate the situation or whatever before we talk about this.
Yeah,
where someone will be like, no, I want to talk about this right now.
Step back,
you can't
breathe,
always do that.
And gather your thoughts.
Right. And we can't always just talk about it in the moment.
And sometimes when stuff is happening, it's not the right place to talk about it. Not even the right time. Sometimes it's just not the right place. Because some stuff does need to be addressed immediately. But it's like,
but if you can't,
not this setting.
If you can't, and sometimes not even if you know you can, because you could say it in a calm tone, but not even if you're gonna be condescending. And if you know how your partner reacts, like you said, you know what I mean, to certain shit, timing and places.
But as you spend more time with a person, and we all may not purposely do it, but you know a motherfucker triggers.
Yeah,
and when people feel some type of way, they do shit purposely to trigger you. Like, whether subconsciously, consciously, whatever. When somebody know your triggers and they feel some type of way, they gonna push that little button a little bit.
I feel like that's not love. That's that kiddie shit. That's not love. Because if I really love you, I'm not going to try to push your button.
And I think some of that comes with maturity too, though.
You know what I mean?
Like, I don't know if I could say it's not love, but it's definitely maturity.
Yeah, we built off a society where it's like, I got to get my lick back. And, honestly, you don't really got to get your lick back.
You don't have to get your lick back, but I'm going to get my lick back.
That's where it brings more problems.
But that's true, but it's like, you know what? I got to one-up this person. And that's where a lot of the problems happen, because it's like, damn, I thought we was past this. In all reality, we was never past it. Niggas is still out here one-upping niggas.
I feel like when people get in relationships, it's like people got to think about the fact that, like, why are we in this? Ain't we in this for love? Cause so it's like, if we in this for love or whatever, you want to be arguing and beefing with the person that you love with.
I think a lot of people not in relationships no more for love. I think people in love for in relationships for convenience.
And that's why I don't do relationships, and that's a fact.
People be in
I do
relationships
believe
for
that.
convenience.
I do believe that. I won't say I don't do it. That's why I'm slow.
I'm not saying personally. I'm not saying personally.
I just corrected myself, and he want to go like. I'm slow on the relationship.
I'm not saying personally, but what I'm saying is the more you talk to people, you start realizing, yo, these niggas is together. Oh, we together for the kids.
I can't do that.
Are we together because our monies is tied up into this or that together?
I can't do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, fuck them kids.
Everybody got a bunch of different reasons besides I'm with this person because I love that person. I want to figure it out and I want to be with that person the rest of my life. But as you understand, people start telling you marriage is a business.
Oh, so I got a question. That's the topic I wanted to
Nah,
talk about.
we gotta save it. Save the topic.
Yeah,
because we getting deep. We getting too deep.
Yeah, it's getting late.
All right. So let's get another 5 minutes and finish what you were saying, Tom.
That's it. Marriage is a business, bro, and whether it's love involved or not, you inherit that person's debt, you inherit that person's finances, you inherit that person's genetics, that person's habits, you inherit that person's family,
and trauma.
And I gotta know that this is worth what the fuck I'm talking about, which is it's supposed to be forever. Because I don't want to be out here married and divorced and married again. It's
That's
like if you get married, then be married. Like
this nigga Jay ain't doing relationships. He ain't doing marriage.
I do relationships. I wasn't life partner.
You just said you wasn't doing relationships.
Never.
I did not say that. I said
you
I'm
never gonna get married.
No, I'm not getting married.
That's his choice. If that's how he feel, he's entitled to feel that way. That I never want to get married.
So
I don't know if
none of y'all like to be in love. None of y'all want to be in love.
I ain't say I want to.
Niggas want to be in love.
That's not what.
But I need to find somebody that feel the same.
We just gonna
buy. You're gonna marry somebody you love. That's all I'm getting to.
I think you should marry.
Bro,
I ain't say I don't want to be in love.
Ain't nothing better than coming home at night to somebody that you love, bro,
nice
and knowing that
cheeks to rub on.
See, but that's the problem. Why do we automatically have to associate love with marriage? Like, why do we have to be married?
No, that's a true thing too. You don't have to be married.
I never said I don't want a companion. I never said I don't want a life partner.
In my family, none of my grandmother and my aunt, my great aunts and them, none of them people married. They've been with them same men about 40, 50 years, and ain't none of them legally married.
That's deep.
You don't.
But everybody in the next generation that was married is now divorced.
Come on.
I
don't want to deal with that complication, man. But we gonna save a little bit of this right here,
and a little bit.
It's gonna be on the next episode. So we gonna wrap up. Maybe Diamond B will be here. Maybe not. Hopefully, we rooting for it.
Get to that
but we appreciate y'all. Tap in, like, share. It is what it is. 203 on all platforms. Yo.
But taking sugar out the house.